coincidence. They promoted it because they like to put YouTube promoted that video. YouTube promoted that video. It wasn't a coincidence. They promoted it because they like to push New Age. They like to deconstruct Christianity. They like to deconstruct Western civilization. And ultimately, they like to send people in circles away from the truth. They think they're getting to the truth. They're actually running in circles. They're getting away from the truth. Greetings, friends. I started my channel back in December of 2016. My channel was still pretty young when I released a video a few months into 2017. And this video was called Earth is a Game Board, Earth is Hell. You can escape. And I deleted this video about a year ago, despite the fact that this video received a little short of 200,000 views. I know it was more than 175,000. So it was one of my most successful videos. So why would I delete it? Well, because I was spouting a bunch of New Age philosophy, which I have since repented of. And not everything in that video I would have now disagree with, but certainly a lot of the things I was saying I would disagree with. And I feel bad that I may have led many people astray with this New Age philosophy. So what were some of these ideas that I disagree with that made me delete the video later? Well, I don't remember because I deleted the video. I don't even have it, but off the top of my head, I was saying everything is one, everything is consciousness. This is just a vague Eastern idea. It's going to lead you astray. It's not going to help you. We're trapped in our bodies, and we want to get out of our bodies. This is another thing I was saying. That's a Gnostic idea. Don't shun your body. Don't view your body as a prison that you need to escape from. The body is good. The body is good. And I was talking about finding a middle ground between the religious fundamentalists and the atheists, which, there might be some merit in that viewpoint, but I didn't really understand what Christianity was. So how can you really talk about what religion is? I do think there's a problem with what we might recognize as religious fundamentalism, but I don't know. It depends on how you view it. Because actually, what we would call the religious fundamentalists, I think they're actually getting their religion wrong. So I don't believe religion is a bad thing. I believe religion is a good thing. And that's not a popular view. I was talking about quantum physics, mind over matter, all kinds of other dimensions and realms that we will possibly experience. We can't even conceive of these other realms that are waiting for us. That's just total... could be true, who knows? Probably it's just deception. It's just a bunch of nonsense. I'm not saying that I don't believe in some things about quantum physics, but I no longer think there's any point in trusting science, trusting Eastern philosophy to somehow tell us how we should live, lead us to happiness, these kinds of things. I don't think it's worth trusting at all. And the specific ideas of Earth is hell, Earth is a game board, and you can escape. Well, I don't believe that Earth is hell, although I think that did strike a chord with a lot of people because I recognize that there was something seriously wrong with the world, but now I see that we live in a fallen world, which is a little different from hell. So that alone, that the video has to go because we're not living in hell. We're living in a fallen world. Earth is a game board. You can use that idea to look at life, but perhaps it's a little dangerous because fundamentally, if your life has eternal implications, which I believe it does, then this is not a game. This is more serious than a game. Because the whole game board is a popular New Age idea, we're all going to end up in heaven, and we're going to be reincarnated, so we're just here to experience and learn and grow. This Look, I fell for it too, so I don't blame you if you fell for it, and I repent, I repent, I repent. And then the idea that you can escape from this hellish world. You can win the game or something. Well, the idea of escaping is too Gnostic. It's too close to Gnosticism is an ancient heresy. It keeps coming up again and again. It's never going to go away, this heresy. And so, yes, I guess we'd like to get to heaven, but we don't want to necessarily escape from matter or escape from our bodies. The body is a good thing. It was created by God, and that was the real big problem with this video, is I didn't mention God at all. I don't think I mentioned God at all, not in the Christian concept of God. So you can't be talking about all these deep spiritual subjects without believing in the Christian God. It just falls apart. So that's why the video had to go. I view my channel as sort of like a not exactly like a scrapbook, but you can kind of like a newspaper or something that you're editing, you're adding to. Sometimes you can remove things if it's. I'm trying to put forward a coherent body of work. I'm not a philosopher, but I am trying to put together a worldview which coheres. It makes sense. So sometimes an older video, that doesn't really fit anymore. I may delete it. I have gotten rid of some of my older videos that I didn't think were a good look, or I don't agree with them anymore, or I saw some problems in them. It's not always a case of I disagree with everything in these old videos, but there's enough stuff in the video that I don't agree with, then the video has to go. And of course, it's the internet, so you're welcome to download my videos. I know they exist forever somewhere in cyberspace, but as far as how what I put on my channel, that's kind of my strategy. It's kind of like a scrapbook, but I like to make it more polished, not like the rough copy version of a scrapbook. Well, maybe some videos are more of a rough copy than others. So that's sort of how I think of my channel. And of course, when it comes to these things, like there is often some truth in the deceptions. That's what makes the lies more effective, is because they utilize some truth. So New Age philosophy, which had influenced me for a number of years, that's because there are some truths in this, but there's also a huge bunch of nonsense and lies. And this is why YouTube promoted that video. It wasn't a coincidence. They promoted it because they like to push New Age. They like to deconstruct Christianity. They like to deconstruct Western civilization. And ultimately, they like to send people in circles away from the truth. They think they're getting to the truth. They're actually running in circles. They're getting away from the truth. That's why YouTube, that's the only reason that video got as many views as it did. It's a similar situation to why did they promote my other video, Don't Fool Around with Two Mirrors Facing Each Other. That video is still up, and it's around similar view count. It's around 175,000 views. Now, some people I've talked to have said that YouTube does not promote the occult, and that you shouldn't even use occult as a tab or tag. That might be true, but I wonder, why would YouTube be pushing a video where I tell people don't put two mirrors together, spirits can come out of the mirrors, be aware of elves and gnomes and all these but see, I don't disagree with what I was saying in the video. I was trying to tell people to be wary and not to do these things. I'm not approaching it from a occult perspective. It's just something that I've noticed in my life. Not that I've had any, I don't want to go off on that topic here, but my point is that YouTube promoted this thing which could have associations with people who want to practice the occult, magic, access other realms. I've had any, I don't want to go off on approaching it from a occult perspective. Disagree with what I was can come out of the mirrors. True, but I wonder what my life perspective. I'm not approaching it from a occult perspective. It's just something that I've noticed in my life. Not that I've had any, I don't want to go off on that topic here, but my point is that YouTube promoted this thing which could have associations with people who want to practice the occult, magic, access other realms. And if you look at the comments in that video, maybe I should do a separate video just on that. Like half the comments were people thinking it's so cool, and you can use these mirrors to whatever, communicate with spirits. And I was thinking to myself, my goodness, if this is how people react to it, is there any point in me discussing this at all? Maybe I should take down that video too. What do you think? I don't care. It doesn't bother me to delete my most successful videos. And since this time, for about 2 years now, YouTube has officially, well, not officially, but they definitely suppressed my channel, but that's not surprising. I mean, they suppressed many people's channels. I've never made any money from my channel up until now. It's not like I was making any ad revenue on those videos. I've never accepted donations. I have thought recently, maybe I should open up a way to receive donations, because I've been doing this channel 4.5 years, but so far I've never made, there's one guy who's given me some money, but I met him in person. That's a bit different. But I've never accepted anything online. So I just keep doing my thing. The channel's not going to grow, and but that's how it is. Sometimes you can see that certain stuff that even if you are pushing a New Age message, they love it. Even if you're not trying to push a New Age message, but there's people that could read that sort of stuff into it. Well, maybe not New Age, but magic and stuff like that. Then they might promote it as well, even so that people are getting perhaps not the message you would want them to be getting. I can't help that, but it makes me think, is there any point in even discussing these things at all? So yeah, my channel it's a working thing. I can take things off later. But I'm trying to just develop a coherent body of work here. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you stick around. Thanks for being with me. If you've been with me all these years, I appreciate it. Hasta luego, amigos.
Greetings, friends. I've been getting a few comments from different people regarding my video from a while back where I describe Earth as a game board and as hell. And these people are saying that I justify suicide, so I'd like to address their comments in this video. Let's remember, how is Earth hell? Because of the low consciousness of most souls here, and because of our sense of isolation from the divine. And that's how it should be. And that is a very bitter pill to swallow. Do not worry. Even though many of us may feel like we don't belong here, like there's no point in being here, every person is on Earth for a reason. How can you find your way home if you haven't gone far away? Finding your way home is the whole purpose of suffering. Justifying suicide is like quitting studying and expecting to be smarter. Some people quit studying because studying can be depressing and they've had enough. But when they quit, they know that it's not going to make them smarter or dumber. We go through experiences on Earth, including suffering, so that we may grow. I think if you commit suicide, you'll eventually choose to return to Earth to finish your lessons. Because think of what your greater soul could have in mind for you. It's very difficult when we're on our individual personality here to think of not only other souls that are us, but a greater soul, which is also us, and which is choosing these experiences for us. And of course, when I say eventually, I don't necessarily mean in terms of time. I mean in terms of your progression, in terms of change in your vibration, in your consciousness. Because beyond our physical world here, what use is it to really speak of time? Life on Earth is an opportunity for spiritual evolution. I was listening to the author Ian Lawton speak about rational spirituality, as he calls it, and he brought up a pretty good point.